Legal aspects of media. Part 1. New York Times Company versus Sullivan. Who are the parties involved and what led to the dispute? New York Times Company versus Sullivan. The plaintiff believed that the statements in a newspaper article were damaging to his reputation. Statements from the newspaper read, when the entire student body protested to state authorities by refusing to re-register, the dining hall was padlocked in an attempt to starve them into submission. Why the Sullivan Phil's reputation was damaged by the New York Times publication. Sullivan believed that the statements referred to him because his duties included supervision of the police department. He felt like they were blaming him for everything that was going on with the police department since he was in charge. What are the elements of defamation? Number 1, a defamatory statement was made. This has to be proven. Number 2, the defamatory statement is false. The statement that was presented must be false and was proven to be false. Number 3, the defamatory statement is about and concerning the plaintiff. The plaintiff must have proof that the actual statement made is about him or concerning him. Number 4, the defamatory statement was published with the requisite degree of default. What was the Supreme Court decision? The United States Supreme Court unanimously ruled in favor of the newspaper. The court said that the right to publish all statements is protected under the First Amendment. The court also said in order to prove liable, a public official must show that what was said against them was made with actual malice. That is, with knowledge that it was false with reckless disregard for the truth. Part 2. Who are the parties to the case? What was the petitioner? Was the petitioner a private person or a public figure? Elmer Gertz versus Robert Welch. Elmer Gertz was a private figure. What were the alleged defamatory statements about Gertz in an American Opinion article? In a magazine called American Opinion, the John Birch Society accused Gertz of being a Leninist and a communist frontier. What was done to confirm the accuracy of these allegations against Gertz? Research was conducted and proven that Gertz was not affiliated with any of those allegations that the paper mentioned. How do you think these allegations affected Gertz's reputation? These allegations affected Gertz because he had an honest reputation, but with these allegations, the people in the community will look at him different. Gertz, as a lawyer, could lose his clients as well because they might feel as if he is not honest enough to represent them. What would I have done differently than what to avoid a lawsuit? As a writer, the first thing I would have done was to proofread the article before trusting someone else's credibility. What is your state defamation law? The elements of defamation claim in North Carolina are essentially similar to the elements discussed in the general defamation law section, with the following exceptions and clarifications. Defamations per se. North Carolina has a broad definition of libel per se. This term refers to statements so egregious that they will always be considered defamatory and are assumed to harm the plaintiff's reputation without further need to prove that harm. In North Carolina, a statement that does any of the following things amount to libel per se. Charges that a person has committed an infamous crime, charges to a person with having infectious disease, and number 3, tends to impeach a person's that trade or profession, and finally, otherwise tends to subject one to ridicule, contempt, or disgrace. How can I relate what I've learned from Sullivan and Gertz to your future work in communications industry? As a journalist, I would proofread anything that was written by someone else. I believe that if he would have proofread the article, the statements may have been removed and replaced with some substantial evidence. Mistakes happen a lot when it comes to covering stories. But me as a journalist would provide proof for anything that has my name attached to it for legal reasons.